What if I told you that retiring by 40 doesn't require winning the lottery, owning a business empire, or being born into money? It just takes a different mindset, a mindset that says, what if I work smarter with my money, so I never have to work for money again? But here's the question that most people can't seem to answer. How do you actually get there if you're living paycheck to paycheck right now? Stick around, because in this video, you're going to learn how to flip your financial life upside down by living frugally on purpose, not by accident. These aren't boring budgeting tips you've heard 100 times. These are the small, strategic moves that help regular people leave the rat race while everyone else is still hitting snooze at 6 a.m. Number 1. Think of frugal as freedom, not sacrifice. Let's start by changing your definition of frugal. Frugal does not mean miserable. Frugal means powerful. A frugal person doesn't say, I can't afford that. They ask, is this the best use of my freedom? Picture this. Two people earn the same $60,000 a year. One spends it all. The other lives on $40,000 and saves the rest. 10 years later, one still needs to work. The other doesn't. Frugal living isn't about skipping everything. It's about buying your time back. A man named Pete, better known as Mr. Money Mustache, retired at 30 by living frugally and investing over 50% of his income. Now he spends his days biking, riding, and sipping coffee, while others sit in traffic. Number 2. Nowhere. Every single dollar goes. Ever wonder why your bank account feels drained, even though you barely bought anything? That's the trap. Small expenses are silent killers. A $5 coffee, a $12 lunch, a few streaming subscriptions you forgot about. It adds up. Start tracking every dollar like a detective. Use a notebook or a simple app like Mint. This is not about judgment. It's about awareness. One woman started tracking her expenses and realized she had spent over $1,500 in a year on rideshares, even though she had a bus pass. Once she cut that, she started saving $100 a month without even feeling it. Think of your money like a leak in a boat. Until you plug the holes, you'll always be sinking. Number 3. Shrink your lifestyle gap, not your life. There's a dangerous habit that sneaks in the moment you get a raise. You start living bigger, better car, fancier phone, new wardrobe. It's called lifestyle creep, and it eats your financial future one splurge at a time. Early retirees do something different. They freeze their lifestyle. Even as their income grows, their expenses stay the same, or even shrink. Let's say you go from $40,000 to $60,000 a year. Most people increase spending by $20,000. But you keep living like you did before and invest the rest. That's how you sprint toward freedom while everyone else is stuck on the hamster wheel. Number 4. Use house hacking to slash your biggest expense. For most Americans, housing is the biggest monthly bill. But what if you could turn your home into a money-making machine? That's what house hacking does. Let's break it down. You buy a duplex, live in one unit, and rent out the other, or you rent out a room in your home, or turn your garage into a studio on Airbnb. One couple in Denver bought a home with a finished basement. They lived upstairs and rented the basement on weekends. That rental covered 75% of their mortgage. They were saving more than $1,000 a month without lifting a finger. That's the power of turning expenses into income. Number 5. Know your freedom number. Here's a question most people can't answer. How much money do you actually need to retire? Not want, not dream about, need. Here's a quick formula used by early retirees. Multiply your yearly expenses by 25. If you live on $30,000 a year, your freedom number is $750,000. That might sound big, but here's the catch. If you live frugally, that number gets much smaller. That means freedom comes much sooner. A frugal, child-free couple living in the Midwest kept their expenses around $32,000 after 12 years of disciplined saving and investing. They reached $800,000 and retired before 45. They now spend their time hiking, volunteering, and doing freelance work only when they want to. Number 6. Destroy debt like your life depends on it. Debt is the biggest dream killer in America. It quietly robs your future by chaining you to your past. You can't sprint toward early retirement with a student loan on your back and 5 credit cards biting your wallet. Make paying off bad debt your top priority. Start with the debt avalanche or snowball method. whichever keeps you motivated. One guy in Pennsylvania worked a delivery side gig at night, cut his expenses in half, and paid off $50,000 in student loans in under 4 years. He now invests 40% of his income instead of sending it to lenders. The faster you crush your debt, the sooner you start building wealth instead of just surviving. Number 7. Invest like it's a non-negotiable. Want to retire early? You must invest. Saving alone won't cut it. The magic sauce is compound interest. It's the snowball that turns pennies into freedom. Let's say you invest $500 a month into index funds earning 8% annually. In 20 years, you'll have around $275,000. In 30 years, it becomes over $680,000. The secret? Start early and stay consistent. And don't overthink it. Index funds are your friend. They're simple, low cost, and effective. If you're unsure, look at Warren Buffett's advice. Even he recommends index funds for most people. Investing is how you turn today's discipline into tomorrow's freedom. Number 8. Master the art of budget joyfully. Most people think budgeting means cutting fun out of life. But a good budget isn't a punishment. It's a permission slip. It tells your money where to go, so you never have to wonder where it went. Use the 50-30-20 rule as a starting point. 50% for needs, 30% for wants, 20% for saving and investing. If you want to retire early, flip it. Try saving 40 or even 50%. Make it a game. Can you cook 3 meals for less than $15? Can you hit a zero-spend weekend? Gamifying your savings makes it feel like a challenge, not a chore. Number 9. Find fun in frugality. Yes, fun. Frugality doesn't mean staying home and crying into your budget binder. It means finding creative joy without overspending. Instead of dinner out, try a themed potluck with friends. Instead of paying for cable, use the library. Instead of buying new clothes every month, host a clothing swap. A couple I knew started a no-spend November tradition. They made it a fun challenge. No unnecessary purchases, just creativity and connection. They ended up saving over $600 that month and laughed more than ever. Number 10. Use side hustles as fuel. You can only cut expenses so much. Eventually, earning more helps you hit your goals faster. That's where side hustles come in. But not all side hustles are equal. Look for ones that scale. Think selling printables, starting a YouTube channel, offering freelance skills, building digital products. A woman I know created wedding invitation templates and sells them on Etsy. She makes over $1,500 a month while working her day job. That extra income all goes toward investments. She's planning to retire before 42. Number 11. Surround yourself with fire-fueled people. If everyone around you is broke and spending like crazy, guess what? You'll feel like the odd one out when you save. That's why community matters. Join Reddit forums like r/frugal or r/financial independence. Watch YouTubers in the FIRE movement. Follow creators who inspire you. You don't need to ditch your friends, but make sure you're feeding your mind with stories of people doing what you want to do. That energy is contagious. Number 12. Remember the why behind the numbers. Frugal living isn't about being stingy. It's about buying the life you actually want. More time with family, freedom to create, the option to wake up without an alarm. Every dollar you save is a vote for freedom. Every investment is a brick in your future. Think of retirement not as the end of work, but as the start of choice. So now the question is, what's your real reason for wanting to retire early? Is it time with your kids? A cabin in the woods? Freedom to write, build, travel, or breathe? Whatever it is, you don't have to wait until 65. Your journey to retire by 40 starts with just one choice today. Which tip are you going to try first? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your story.